Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Morning Motivational Rant. I am your host, Dino the Genetic Marvel, and with me, as always, is Crystal Morency. Good morning, Crystal. How are you?
Good morning, Dino. Good morning, everybody. I'm okay. How are you?
I may have overserved myself last night.
I was going to ask you about that.
I might be a little bit high still, so...
Yay! I'm so happy when you say stuff like that.
Oh, God. So
So how'd it go?
No, it was great. It didn't really kick in until I was, like, in bed, like, lights off, just watching YouTube on my phone, and I'm like, brr. I'm like, oh. Oops.
Oops.
Yeah.
So what did you end up YouTubing? What did you go down? What rabbit hole did you go down? Because I know if you were all fucked up, you went down some kind of rabbit hole.
Don't even remember. I'm pretty sure it just knocked me out because I was already tired. We, just before bed, we ended up watching a movie called Devil. And, yeah, it's actually a really good movie. It's essentially a bunch of people are in an elevator. The elevator breaks down, and one of the people is the devil.
Oh, I heard about that.
It's actually, and you know what? It's actually done by M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong, whatever the fuck his name is. And so it's got like a little bit of twists, and it's a good story. And then like when everything is revealed, you're like, wow, it's crazy. Because, yeah, it's good. No, I enjoyed it. And,
the devil ends up being the dog?
no. No. No, it's actually it's really funny. Is the one of the characters in it is actually married to Christina Hendricks. Do you know who Christina Hendricks is?
No.
Do you remember the show Mad Men?
Like Jimi Hendrix' daughter?
No, definitely not. So she's a
what show?
Mad Men.
Oh no.
No? Okay. So, well, if you Google her, you'll understand. She was very popular.
Yeah.
She's, what are we going to say here? She's a very well-endowed woman. Let's call her that.
That's some big old titties.
I knew if I said the right thing, she would say it for me. It's perfect. So her husband's in it, and I go, hey, that's so-and-so's husband. And my wife's like, what? I'm like, yeah. She's like, ew. And I'm like, she pursued him. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, hey, man, I'm not going to poke a hole in that situation because he ain't a looker, but he does seem like he's a funny guy. And I'm like, well, that is a thing.
Sometimes that works. Sometimes that works. Sometimes that's all you need.
I saw a meme that was like, don't trust funny guys. First they're laughing, then boom, you're naked all of a sudden. I'm like, you know what? You know what? Doing comedy, it's funny when you do a good set. Like, there's no drug or anything that feels as good as doing a good set in front of a good crowd, because you feel like just that applause. You feel like you're on top of the world. You know.
Yeah.
And it is duplicatable. Like, you just become a better comedian and you get more laughs, and you know it's fantastic. But there has been times when people have been like, that was a great set. I'm like, oh, thanks. And they're like, I'm so-and-so. Oh, well, you know, thank you for supporting local comedy. It's really appreciated. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, that's weird. I had one.
Dino's like, what are you doing right now? Why are you humping my leg? Get off.
So with one girl, she heckled me, and I took her apart. Like, she heckled, and I just laid into her. The following week, she came back, and like, so that night, I was like, hey, thanks for, you know, just for playing along, you know. She's like, oh, it's no problem. Yeah. And I was like, you know, that was it. And then the following week, she came back, and she was like, oh, hi, it's me. And I'm like, hi. And then, like, she would come back every, like, few weeks and be like, hey. And I'm like, Mike, this is getting...
Maybe she thinks that you're so funny that you're going to be rich and famous, and she wants to get on that train before it goes.
I don't know, but I'm...
I'll be,
I think she had been on trains before, I'll tell you that. But
she probably had a couple ran on her.
I don't know. No, you know what? I shouldn't say that. That's not a nice thing to say, though. That's not.
That's not a nice thing to
That's not
say.
nice. That's not fair. I'm sorry. I am sorry, people. That was not. It was kind of funny, though. You have to admit. It was very funny, right?
What does your shirt say? Let's stay
strangers.
We are not going to stay strangers. We're getting to know each other more and more every day.
It's not good.
Twice a day sometimes on a good day.
I feel like I have stuff in my eyes. I can't stop. I don't know what's happening.
He looks like a giant baby right now. Rubbing his eyes.
No.